You are where you are and what you are because of your established habits. The aim of this book has been to force you to examine those habits and teach you ways to change them. To do this, you need to understand and apply a universal principle I call cosmic habit force. Cosmic habit force is the law which makes every living creature, every particle of matter, subject to the influence of its environment. It can work for you or against you. The choice is yours. Using natural forces. The grandest example of cosmic habit force is the operation of the heavens. Stars and planets move with clock-like precision. They don't collide. They don't suddenly veer off course, at least not without some major change in the forces at work, like a supernova or a black hole, which are themselves just another example of matter behaving according to established patterns. A complex system of gravity and inertia, attraction and repulsion, keeps things moving so precisely that for millennia human beings have been able to predict the position of the stars and planets, the timing of eclipses, and the regularity of meteor showers. Sunflowers don't grow from turnip seeds. Giraffes don't give birth to tadpoles. Clouds don't release milk. Everything does that which is its nature to do. All this is a reflection of universal order, which makes so much of the physical operation of the world understandable. Certainly, we are still working to understand more than we already do, but science is based on the faith that there is a universal order. All actions and reactions are fixed on the basis of this order. In the science of personal achievement, you seek to take control of this order by taking control of your habits. You recognize that your thoughts and actions will become as much a part of your nature as Pluto's orbit is a part of its nature. If your habits are positive, the seeds that they plant will be too. But you have to realize that cosmic habit force always operates. If your habits are negative, their results will also be negative. This is why you must take control of your habits through self-discipline. Habits become a part of your nature by repetition. If you create thought habits by repeating certain ideas in your mind, cosmic habit force will take over those patterns of thought, make them more or less permanent, depending on your intensity of repetition and practice, and put them to work. The same thing will happen with physical habits. If you follow the same route to and from work every day, you make that route a habit. You probably aren't even aware that it is a habit until you need to alter your route to go to a store or visit a friend. If you aren't paying attention when you start your trip, you will probably find yourself missing the turn or forgetting your task altogether. This is an example of why you need to be aware of and in control of all your habits. If your dominating mental habits are thoughts of poverty, then cosmic habit force will bring about poverty in your life. If your dominating mental habits are of prosperity and peace, cosmic habit force will bring them about. There is an endless cycle here. Repetition of a habit intensifies it until it becomes an obsession. You can become obsessed with poverty or with achievement. This is why I have repeatedly stressed that your thoughts are the only thing you can completely control if you decide to do so. You must control your thoughts to control your habits. Cosmic habit force doesn't leave you any room to complain that opportunity never came your way. You will know that as long as you have the power to form and express your thoughts, you have the power to change the circumstances of your life into whatever you want them to be. If your life isn't already what you want it to be, it is because you have drifted into your present circumstances by virtue of cosmic habit force. You can change that. Definiteness of purpose, backed by the power of cosmic habit force and enforced by self-discipline and personal initiative, can bring you to the circumstances you want. Money-making habits. So the circumstances you want include making more money, do they? Here's how to go about using cosmic habit force to do just that. Step 1. Create a clear mental image of just how much money you want to make. A lot is not a good answer. You need a concrete figure or a percentage above your current income. Step 2. Imagine some of the results of having that money. A new home, sending your daughter to medical school, a comfortable retirement. Doing this clarifies which of the 10 basic motives are driving you. The more motives you can associate with making more money, the stronger your push to achieve it. Step 3. Decide how you will earn this extra money. I've emphasized again and again that you can't get something for nothing. You must have a plan. Step 4. Write out your goal and your plan. Include your motives for making more money. Instead of a statement like, I want to retire in security, write something like, I want to own my own home free and clear of debt. I want to be able to travel and visit my family 3 times a year. Set a date for starting and achieving this goal. Sign your plan. Make it a contract with yourself. Step 5. Go back to your plan and underline all the things that you need to do to make it happen that you aren't doing now. Make a separate list of these things. Step 6. Start doing the things on the list. Some of them will be daily tasks, such as spending less money on dining out and putting more money into your savings account. Others will be longer range but will require daily progress, such as going the extra mile in your job. You have to bend all your efforts and thoughts to doing these things. Step 7. Every day, read your goal aloud to yourself until you have it memorized. Repeat it in your mind when you get out of bed, when you start your job, when you come back from lunch, when your workday is finished, and before you go to sleep. Yes, this is just what you should be doing anyway in connection with your definite major purpose. You are giving cosmic habit force a pattern to follow. The length of time you need to start conditioning your mind to get positive results depends almost entirely on the amount of faith and enthusiasm you place behind your words and actions. All voluntary positive habits are the products of willpower directed toward the attainment of definite goals. If you say to yourself, sometime in my life I want $100,000, you are saying, I am uncertain about my goals. Here, cosmic habit force cannot come into play because there is no definite pattern for it to follow. If you say instead, 6 months from now, I want $100,000, and I will do X, Y, and Z to get it. Cosmic habit force has a pattern to follow, but it will follow that pattern only when your thoughts and actions lead it there. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, you won't develop cosmic habit force. Flexible habits. Be sure to make your plan sufficiently flexible so that you can change it when you are so inspired. The key word here is inspired. As you put your plan into action and develop applied faith, infinite intelligence may hand you a better plan than the one you have made. Treat such inspiration respectfully, for it will help you strengthen your plan where it is weak. Don't express contempt for your hunches. If you repeatedly say to yourself, I had the most foolish idea today, soon you will be having only foolish ideas. Instead, write down your hunches as soon as they occur to you. Examine them carefully, and be sure you are not rejecting them simply because they involve something that hasn't been done before or because they don't conform to your current habits. The purpose of cosmic habit force is to make your habits serve you, not the other way around. Don't let your habits become so ingrained that whatever useful purpose they once served, they now limit your opportunity, tolerance, faith, and enthusiasm. American Express enjoyed huge success with its charge card in the 1980s. It became a symbol of prestige, and millions of new members signed on. More businesses than ever accepted the card because they wanted to attract card members' dollars. Then the economy changed, but American Express habits didn't. As it became necessary to stretch every penny and to watch every percentage of margin, cardholders began switching from the high-fee American Express card to no-fee cards from Visa and MasterCard that offered almost the same benefits. Merchants became angry because American Express claimed a higher percentage of each charge than other cards. Worse, it was slow to credit merchants' accounts. The number of cardholders began to fall dramatically. In Boston, a group of restaurants even organized a boycott of American Express to protest its policies toward merchants. Profits disappeared and losses mounted. Cosmic habit force was at work. American Express kept doing business the way it always had until a crisis hit it right between the eyes. The habits that had made it the premier charge card were not the habits that would keep it the premier charge card. Its habits ruled them, not the other way around. Whatever your habits, Cosmic Habit Force will carry them out. It isn't enough merely to develop good habits and leave it at that. You must remain alert to the effect of your habits and be willing on a moment's notice to change them when new ones will serve you better. Beware of these habits. The good news is, ironically, if you have any of these habits, they will eventually cause some sort of defeat that will inspire you to eliminate them. Of course, you can spare yourself that trouble if you're willing to examine yourself, identify your negative habits, and resolve to replace them with positive ones. Poverty, imaginary illness, laziness, envy, greed, vanity, cynicism, drifting without aim or purpose, irritability, revenge, jealousy, dishonesty, arrogance, sadism. Embrace these habits. You can replace any of the above with one of the following and profit by doing it. Definiteness of purpose. This is the primary good habit. It makes you more alert, more imaginative, more enthusiastic, and it increases your willpower. Faith. Let your mind dwell on positive ideas and on clearing away all negative influences and fears. This takes self-discipline. Personal initiative. You may have to force yourself at first to do things without being told to do them, but persistence will make it easier. Enthusiasm. Remember that controlled enthusiasm is your goal. You'll want to be able to summon it at will or shut it off when it isn't appropriate or might actually be dangerous. Self-discipline. This is a circular process. The more you exercise it, the more you have it. Going the extra mile. Start right now by doing something for which you don't expect to be paid directly. Go the extra mile every day by sheer effort if necessary, and soon the effort will be replaced by habit. Controlling your willpower. In the chapter on self-discipline, you learned about your ego, the source of your willpower. Developing positive habits which can be taken over by Cosmic Habit Force depends heavily on strong willpower. Here's a review of the steps to strengthen your will. Step 1. Actively ally yourself with other people who can help you attain your major purpose. A mastermind alliance creates multiple patterns for Cosmic Habit Force to work on. Step 2. Develop your plan, drawing on all the members of your alliance for knowledge, ability, and the power of their faith. Step 3. Distance yourself from anyone and any circumstance that make you feel inferior. A positive ego does not grow in a negative environment. Remember that Cosmic Habit Force causes every living thing to partake of the dominating influence of its environment. Step 4. Close the door on the unpleasant experiences of the past. A strong will doesn't dwell on the past. A vital ego thrives on hopes and desires of an as yet unattained objective. If you keep your mind in a state of hope and desire, Cosmic Habit Force goes to work changing your hopes and desires into their material equivalent. Step 5. Surround yourself with every possible means of impressing your mind with the nature of your definite purpose. Hang mottos on your walls. Put up pictures of people doing what you want to do. You want to make it easier to create a mental image of yourself realizing your objective. The more you create this image, the sooner it will be taken over by Cosmic Habit Force and impressed on your subconscious. Step 6. Watch out that you don't overinflate your ego. One small prick with a pin, and the escaping hot air will be like a runaway rocket, carrying you far away from where you want to be. The 3 essentials of Cosmic Habit Force. 3 qualities underlie the process of voluntary establishment of a habit. Plasticity. This is the capability to change. It also implies that once a change has been made, your new form will hold until a subsequent change is made. You won't revert to your old status. Consider the difference between modeling clay, which is malleable but holds the shape that is given, and mercury, which can take any shape for a moment but will never keep it. You can be changed by environmental influences or by your own decisions. Frequency of impression. Repetition is the mother of habit. One of the factors affecting the speed with which a habit can be adopted is how often it is consciously repeated. Your ability to do this may vary with circumstances. Your job may require enough concentration on the task at hand that you have to pay attention only to it and develop your habits in your spare time. Personal initiative also comes into play. If you're lazy, you won't knock yourself out developing a habit. This can definitely slow down the process of acquiring it. Intensity of impression. You can go through the motions of an activity, or you can concentrate on doing it. Concentration builds the habit quickly. You impress the habit on your subconscious mind, and it becomes a part of everything you do. Here's an example of these three essentials at work. A woman working the swing shift at an electronics assembly plant was allowed 2 10-minute breaks, one at 6 p.m. and one at 10:30. Most of her co-workers used these breaks for cigarettes. She didn't want to cultivate a bad habit that would affect her health and make her a less pleasing personality, so she decided instead to have a snack. Her garden was in full bloom, so she would have a carrot, an apple, or something else she had grown herself. Being human, she already had plasticity. It's part of everyone's nature. Every day throughout the summer and fall, precisely at 6 and at 10:30, she would have her snack. This gave a definite frequency of impression. The element of intensity varied according to her relative hunger. Sometimes she ate with relish because her meal at home had been small. Sometimes she skipped a meal before coming to work, and the intensity of her hunger was even greater. But whenever the break came, she ate, no matter how hungry she was. As the months passed, she realized that regardless of what she had eaten, she got hungry before her breaks. She watched the clock, waiting for a chance to eat. Sometimes it seemed the time would never come. And when her garden was no longer producing good, fresh food, she switched to anything else she had at home. A candy bar, a donut, cookies. This is a clear example of the voluntary establishment of a habit. But it wasn't really a good habit. She began to put on weight and found she was distracted from her work for half an hour before her breaks. So she decided to break her habit and stopped bringing food. This wasn't the answer, because there was food in the vending machines at the plant, and she just started buying that. Not only was she still eating, but she was now spending more money to do it. At this point, she really had to seize possession of her mind, inspire it with a strong motive, and take definite action. She set a definite minor purpose to break her habit. She did this by reading, substituting the desire for knowledge and inspiration for the desire for food. When her break came, she reached for a book instead of a candy bar. The same frequency of impression was there, of course. The only thing different was the intensity. At first the feeling of hunger persisted, but after a few days she acquired an appetite for reading, which overwhelmed the old physical desire. She established a new habit to supplant the old. Any worthless, superfluous, or harmful habit can be broken and replaced with a more desirable one if you want it to be so. The nucleus of the entire science of personal achievement lies in this concept. Cosmic habit force is the means for incorporating every one of the 17 principles of success into your life. Control your mental attitude. Keep it positive by exercising self-discipline, and prepare your mental soil so that any worthwhile plan, purpose, or desire may be planted by repeated, intense impression. Know that it will germinate, grow, and find expression, bringing you whatever it is you want from life. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, your mind can achieve.